today we'll take one particular move or coordination often used in advanced belly dance and fit it into some super graceful and flowing combinations to practice. This coordination is a twisting undulation produced by combining a one hip figure eight with a lower body undulation as part of it and a chest figure eight. If you are not very familiar with this coordination, there are a couple ways to arrive at it. First way is perform a vertical hips figure eight, twisting your hip in as you go and without isolation. That is combined with a chest figure eight. Some dancers call this move a snake. I call it a side undulation in place, changing sides, as opposed to a side undulation with a step like this. So one half of this undulating weight shifting move is our twisting undulation. So if you keep the weight on one leg and perform this coordination on your weightless side, this is our twisting undulation. While in a regular undulation, your chest performs a backward vertical circle and your hips undulate forward, back. In this twisting undulation, your hips go along a trajectory that has both front to back and lateral dimension. So it's a three-dimensional trajectory, a figure eight that we perform when we do the so-called one hip figure eight. Your chest is also rotating in addition to lifting and dropping. This is your chest figure eight that wraps around your axis. Your rib cage tilts and rotates side to side. The other way to arrive at this twisting undulation is simply to go from a one hip figure eight and add a chest figure eight. So if we perform a one hip figure eight on this side, prepare with the first loop of your chest figure eight on the same side. And then as your chest goes into a second loop on the opposite side, your hip starts coming up and forward. So your chest twists up and away from your hip, and the hip chases it. And then your chest twists toward your hip, and your hip starts falling with an abdominal contraction here. So the best way to polish this coordination is to initiate it with your chest. Your hip chases your chest, right? Same as in a regular full body undulation, where when we learn it as beginners, we must fully involve the upper body to work on this movement, because our spine is one unit. Remember, you can't produce the wave in your lower spine and not echo or complete it in your upper spine. Once this coordination is firmly in your muscle memory, you can style it, keep it big in your upper body, or contain it to mostly a lower body curve. Why is this twisting undulation a really crucial coordination to master for belly dance? Because good half of our hip work and undulating motion is based on figure eights. Horizontal figure eight, vertical figure eight, but also undulations. Undulation also follows a figure eight trajectory. And for truly fluid and connected movement, you need to feel and understand how your lower body movement connects to your upper body movement. As beginners, we learn separately hip moves and upper body moves. It's easier to visualize them this way. But as I mentioned, and we all know, you can't move your hips without the wave you produce in the lower spine reaching your upper body area. And if you perform a chest circle or figure eight, it will result in a lower body wave because your spine is one unit. The wave you start here will go all the way to the end, up or down. If you think of the mechanics of regular human motion, walking, it's based on the same figure eight we perform in belly dance. Hip area figure eight and the upper body figure eight. Our chest rotates as we walk. As you make a step and your hip comes forward, your chest twists toward your step to keep your body oriented forward. Teaching belly dance is typically done by teaching isolations, and that's why when we start dancing and even further into our progress as dancers, we have a very vague idea what exactly our upper body is doing when you perform this or that hip coordination. Ask a beginner, what is your upper body doing when your hips perform a horizontal figure eight? It's unlikely she can answer this question. A lot of instructors can't answer this question because they never graduated from isolations to understanding the full body dynamics. So, our twisting undulation is a good shortcut to connecting your lower and upper body in a number of dance movement contexts. But since this is not a beginner class, we won't drill the basic mechanics. Instead, I will offer you combinations where we'll layer this twisting undulation on various steps so you can recognize the movement context where it belongs, but may be suppressed in your movement through focus on isolations. Isolations is an important element of belly dance aesthetics, but focus on isolations unfortunately results in stiffness. You end up performing your hip work with frozen spine, travel steps with a frozen spine and chest. If you feel maybe this is happening to you, set your goal to unfreeze and then reintroduce isolation on top of fully connected movement. The way I would like to conduct this class is by building each combination from the most basic blocks in a movement flow. And we'll also string our mini combinations into a choreographed sequence, which you can use with its original music or any other music, as long as you count it in eights or fours. Okay, let's go.